What out, chaps? How's it going? Fucking hell. Duchess Slut Bucket's back in fucking action. The inevitable happened, and she got twatted in the first round of the Meghan Markle privacy case. If anyone doesn't know, this fucking story all revolved around her dad. It says, the Mail of Sunday has won the first round of a legal battle against the Duchess of Sussex over the publication of a letter she wrote to her father. The Duchess is suing for breach of privacy and copyright infringement after articles reproduced parts of a letter she sent Thomas Markle. The publisher denies the allegations. Now, fucking call me a fucking bluff old traditionalist, but if you write your dad a letter and he then goes and gives that letter to somebody else, is there somebody else at fault because your dad's a bit of a dickhead? Like, is that me looking at things too simplistically? If someone's got another elaborate way of looking at this and you think I'm being short-sighted, please fucking enlighten me, because I do not even understand how this type of thing can go to court. Like, seriously, this was from The Sun in January. It said the Duchess of Sussex sent a 5-page handwritten letter to her daddy following her royal wedding to Prince Harry, saying her father had broken her heart. The letter has now become the subject of a landmark lawsuit as Meghan Markle pursues legal action against the Mail on Sunday, claiming they unlawfully published the privately penned piece. Right? Again, I don't even want to get into the ins and outs of the letter. You can think that Thomas Markle's a fucking bit of a dickhead for sharing the letter. Or you can think Thomas Markle's doing it because he's angry with his daughter, who apparently is a fucking notorious, self-promoting, narcissistic, vain, narrow-minded, egomaniacal fucking Jezebel. I'll leave you to decide how I feel on this matter. But whatever you think, if you send your dad a letter, love, if you send your dad a letter and he sells the letter to a newspaper, that's because your dad has been a bit of a knobhead. What fucking fault can you possibly put at the feet of the newspaper? You tell me, seriously. How does it even go to court? It says the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, is suing the paper, the Mail on Sunday, for damages after it published a leaked letter she wrote to her father. The Duchess claims it was a misuse of her private information and breach of copyright. Fucking copyright? If Elton John writes his dad a letter and the old cunt sells it to the paper, has he broke a copyright there? Unless he's fucking just wrote down verbatim the lyrics to fucking Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, I don't see how that can be copyright infringement. I mean, we know she's a narcissist, but what do you mean breach of copyright? Like, you don't become a work of art just because you married a ginner and he happens to be a royal, you dumb slut. Said in a statement, the Duke of Sussex said he and Meghan were forced to take action against relentless propaganda. Prince Harry said, I lost my mother. Oh, he always falls back on that. Like, we all have to start crying because we like Diana. Well, we did like Diana, but you can't ride on her coattails your whole life, you little ginger bastard. I met Prince Harry. He was doing his OPTAG training before I deployed to Afghanistan with 40 Commando, and I met him, said hello. He seemed like a nice fella. One of the lads took the piss out of him and said he probably never showers because he's in the army, and he laughed. He seems like a good sport. And I understand how he has to get involved now, doesn't he? Like, it doesn't matter what I think of you. If you call my wife a fucking hooer and start having a go at her, I will feel as if I have to intervene on her behalf, even if I quietly agree or see where you're coming from. Because he's got to, hasn't he, Prince Harry? He's not a fucking total dickhead. He hung out with normal lads. He must know why the general public have turned against his wife. He must do. He must have twigged after Wimbledon when she started fucking off all the nice old well-wishers, all the nice old pensioners who paid for her wedding, and they all went over to say hello and she fucked them off at the High Port. He must know the optics look terrible and everyone now hates his wife for good fucking reason. But he has to get involved anyway. That's all that is. So I'll cut Harry some slack. I'm not having a go at him. I know why he has to get involved, but he should wrap in fucking constantly bringing up his mum, because I'm sorry, mate, you've played that card a few too many times now. He said, I watched my wife falling victim to the same powerful forces. What, you mean being a gobshite? Being an arrogant, entitled, gobby cunt? That's not a powerful force. The only powerful force there is your wife's fucking yap. If she shut it, people wouldn't think she was a twat. She's pledged to give any damages from the case to charity. Fuck off, yeah, because to her, any fucking free advertising's revenue enough, isn't it? It's all fucking publicity in the bag for this vainglorious slut bucket. Said Thomas Markle's also preparing to take the stand and testify against his daughter in the bombshell case. It will be the first time Thomas and MeAgain would come face to face since 2015. A 5-page handwritten letter was posted to Thomas by MeAgain, by a LA-based business manager. The Mail on Sunday filed their defence and argued that the Duchess and other royals rely on publicity about themselves and their lives to maintain the privileged positions they hold. 100% true. 100% true. If she was MeAgain, who works on the checkout at the grocery store, nobody would give a flying fuck. So they do know it. They love to pretend they hate them, but they rely on them. It's a symbiotic relationship, the royals and the fucking press. Said she could not have a reasonable expectation of privacy, that the contents of the letter were private and would remain so. Totally right. Again, logical. You must know when you write someone a letter and you're world famous that the person you send the letter to might be a dipshit who will then pass the letter off to the press. Again, it's not the press's fault, is it? You can't blame them. That's like me drinking 12 pints of Guinness, then taking the car for a spin and wrapping it round some cunt's fucking kneecaps, and then blaming Arthur Guinness. It doesn't make sense. It's almost as daft as Hillary Clinton's thing about suing the gun manufacturers. Like you sell a product that's legal, i.e. a handgun, and then someone buys the handgun and uses it to rob a bank. It's not your fault they robbed the fucking bank, is it? Give your fucking head a shake, MeAgain, you dippy fucking mare. Thomas Markle said he decided to release parts of the letter after 5 friends of MeAgain spoke anonymously about her relationship with him to People magazine. So, I mean, even that, it's understandable if he's responding to things they've said about him. He's obviously trying to put his part of the story out there, isn't he? Mail on Sunday said the intimate details of MeAgain's broken relationship revealed that the 5 friends could only have come from the Duchess herself, not least because it presented events entirely from her perspective. They also accused MeAgain of scheming to use friends to pressure UK journalists into dropping stories about her. Yep, because she's a fucking narcissist and she thinks she can tell the press. Seriously, this has always been the problem with Meghan Markle. What her idea of the Queen was an antiquated, for want of a better word, a fuckwit American who knows nothing about the royal family. Most Americans take the time to educate themselves about the royal family, but lots of them don't. And the ones that don't seem to think that we're still living in the 12th century and the Queen can chop your fucking head off if she wants to. Like the ones who've said to me, oh, it's a bit of an outdated institution, the monarchy, isn't it? They're the ones who haven't really done the reading. They don't realise that the UK is a free country and the monarch is simply a ceremonial role. You can be a Republican in the UK. You can walk past the Queen if she waves at you and go, fuck off, you old cunt. You can do that. People will think you're an arsehole, but you can do it. It's a free country. And fuckheads like Meghan seem to think they're still living in the 12th century, and that's what she seems to have thought when she got married. Quite why the ginger prince didn't explain this to her is fucking beyond me, but she seems to have acted since she got here like she thinks it's the 12th century and she can do as she pleases, and she can act like an entitled twat and go to Wimbledon and fuck the public off and say, get away from me, you sweaty, foul-smelling peons. I want to be treated like a fucking princess, but have none of the responsibilities or work. So fuck you, scumbags, right? And she did that, and all of a sudden the people started going, whoa, we were all super nice to you, and all of a sudden you've started being a fucking snooty, entitled, stuck-up fucking bitch. And then she went, whoa, you can't say that about me, you cunt. Sorry, Meghan, they can. They can say that about you. It's 2020. They're allowed to think you're a twat, just like I do.